Namaste everyone. Good morning. We have on screen Vadika and Anusha. I hope I am audible. Anusha, I would like to ask you, were you teaching at the moment?
Sorry, sir, I could not hear you. Can you repeat?
I wanted to ask you, were you teaching a session at the moment?
Yeah, I was teaching actually. Now I'm free.
Okay, so you do teach at Himalayan Yoga.
No. I don't teach at.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
take
your
my
turn.
personal classes.
Huh?
I take my personal classes.
Oh, through Himalayan Yoga link. I thought there was two Anusha, I thought.
No,
Okay,
no.
okay. So, Namaste Ilona, and we will start with the session. We have a different syllabus given by the Himalayan Yoga, but we will continue with our syllabus as we have not, or I have not discussed it with them yet. About yesterday, what we have studied, we have just started with our digestive system, and from the digestive system, we have also seen up till the oral cavity the representation and the diagrammatic representation of our digestive organs. So from the oral cavity which we have seen, we have studied the teeth, the salivary glands, the number of 32 teeth, where we have the 6 salivary glands. Apart from the salivary glands, what else we do have in the oral cavity? That is what? The tongue. And what is the purpose of the tongue? To swallow the food. But here, to talk about the tongue more, the tongue has a small, tiny hair on the surface. This our tongue has a very small, tiny hairs on the surface. So, what are those tiny hairs on the surface known as? Those tiny hairs on the surface is known as rough papillae. Rough papillae. I am speaking about the tongue. These tiny surfaces or the tiny hairs on the surface of the tongue is for to hold or grip the food. It's for to hold or grip the food, which makes it easy to swallow. Which makes it easy to swallow. Here, the tongue do have the taste buds. The tongue do have the taste buds, and those taste buds on the surface of the tongue are in plenty. Those taste buds are actually important, 3-4 major taste buds, but those 3 to 4 major taste buds are, for example, just trying to show like a tongue. If this is our tongue, then the region of our tongue, where at the tip of our tongue, you will find that taste. Which taste you will find at the tip of your tongue? The sweet. So whatever the sweet or the taste of the sweet you find, you will definitely feel it on the tip of your tongue. In the similar way, just behind the surface of the sweet, you will find these two regions at the side of the tongue. These two regions taste is salty. Apart from this, so the salty taste and the sweet taste you found at the tip, where the salty just behind at the side of your tongue. Behind the salty at the back of your tongue, but at the side, at the back, but at the side, you will find the test sour. You will find the test sour here. Just watching it quickly. So the sweet, salty, and the sour. Then the next test on the surface of our tongue, you will find the bitter. So where is the bitter present? At the back of your tongue, at the center, but more at the back. This portion or this region of your tongue will be bitter in taste. So we have the sweet, we have the salty, we have the sour, and apart from this test, we have one more that is known as at the middle portion of the tongue. Those test is known as umami. This one is known as umami here, if it is visible. So these are the 5 important tastes on the surfaces of the tongue where we do have number of taste buds like more than 100 to 200 taste buds on the surface of our tongue. So we have the sweet, then the salty. Whenever you will eat the food or whenever you will feel the sweetness of the food, you will feel at the surface of the tongue, at the tip of the tongue. Whenever you will have this more salt in your food, you will definitely feel the taste at the side of your tongue. More behind, you will find the red one, the sour taste. And at the back of your tongue, you will find out the bitter. Your tongue will tell you, to give you the signal here to your brain that you ate the bitter food. And umami, what is umami? Can you tell me, anyone? Umami, the taste? About the umami, here all the tests. Here, the mixture of all the tests, you find it out in umami. So the sweet plus salty plus sour plus bitter makes up your umami, which is present at the middle surface of our tongue. This is just about the oral cavity in the digestive system, which we have seen. Yesterday we studied about the teeth, the salivary glands, and the tongue here. These three. Apart from this tongue, the food travels down as the tongue swallows the food. The teeth cut the food. The salivary glands moisten or make the food more soft, and then the tongue will swallow the food. Then the food which has been swallowed by this tongue will pass through the throat region. So the first one was the mouth region, oral cavity. The second one, it will pass through the throat region. That throat region is known as pharynx region. That throat region is known as pharynx region. So what about the pharynx region? Is it visible? So what about this pharynx region? About the pharynx, where is the pharynx located in our throat? The pharynx is just at the back or the posterior end of the oral cavity, at the back of our mouth, our throat, where we have three types of pharynx in the respiratory system, and we do say that we have two types of pharynx in digestive system. So here we have in the digestive system where oesopharynx and laryngopharynx, oesopharynx and the laryngopharynx here, the regions of the throat. The types are nothing but the regions of the throat. So where are these regions? Just will show you up here. This is a human where the food pipe will go, where we eat the food. So at the back end, this region of the throat is known to be as oesopharynx region. Oesopharynx means the region of our throat. The food will pass through first oesopharynx, and below the oesopharynx region, there is laryngopharynx region. Below the oesopharynx region, there is laryngopharynx region. I will not here label the nasopharynx, which comes from the nose here, because it is the digestive system, and in this system will not mention the nasopharynx, as we do eat through our mouth, not with our nose here. Okay, so these two regions are the regions of the throat. You have to just know about this a bit. Yes, everyone. I hope everyone are mute.
Is the this thing the region where we get tonsils also?
The laryngopharynx is the region, larynx, which is our voice box, and
Yeah.
above that voice box, we have tonsils. Above it.
No,
Actually,
above the laryngo or like pharynx, there is larynx also, I think.
the larynx is nothing but the voice box, but we don't
Okay.
study the larynx in the digestive system.
Okay.
The larynx is the part of the respiratory system.
Okay. No,
Here.
I'm just asking the position.
Yes, yes.
Is it next to the pharynx? Just the position.
Exactly. Yes.
Because I think when we talk about acidity or something, you know, especially GERD, the problem of GERD, I think that causes the problem when there is an acid reflux. I think that causes the problem in the larynx and pharynx region.
Yes, that also we will see now how
Okay.
it causes the problem. Like where
Yeah, that
the
is why I
food
just
pipe
wanted to
goes.
know the position of larynx.
Larynx is different. See, we have two pipes. This is just a single pipe I have shown. Anushaji. See, for example, I will show you this is like a red marker, and this is what the black marker. If we consider this like a food pipe and wind pipe, okay. So this one is food pipe and this one is wind pipe. Here in the digestive system, I have just shown you the food pipe, but we do have also the wind pipe that I have not shown here. There is larynx, not here in this pipe.
Okay.
So if we will see, like, if I will ask you, for example, this is food pipe and wind pipe. So how are they connected if it is not visible here? Are they connected like this, or are they connected side to side?
No, I don't know.
Yes. So these food pipes are connected one behind each other. One behind each other. Food pipe and wind pipe are connected one behind each other, not side to side. So the other one is behind or in front. So if I will ask one more thing, like which one is
so
in
that
front?
it is not visible, right? Not side to side. So it is at the back of it.
Yes, one in front, one at the back.
Got it. Got it.
So which pipe do you see here in the front? Which one is this pipe?
This is food pipe, I think.
No. So this is what? Our wind pipe.
Okay.
This is the wind pipe. You will see here the number of rings, and that is connected to our lungs. But will not speak here. That is the part of respiratory system. The food pipe goes more behind. Yes, behind one.
So front we have windpipe and behind that we have food pipe.
Yes, exactly. And in the front you will find larynx. This is laryngopharynx, the region of the throat. And below this laryngopharynx, I will just show here the red color, that is known as epiglottis.
Okay.
That is epiglottis. What is epiglottis now? Yes, epiglottis is a flap of tissue. It is a tissue made up of group of cells. That tissue which helps the food to travel to food pipe, and that tissue helps the air to pass through the windpipe. So this is the involuntary action, involuntary tissue, which is not controlled with our brain or with our mind. Whatever food we eat, this is the duty of epiglottis to send to the food pipe only if we are eating in a right position. If the people are lying down and eating, or if the people are not sitting in a proper position and eating, or if the people are eating fast in a quick way, then the food will pass, or the epiglottis will get confused, and it will send a particle of the food in our windpipe. And that time what we do, we cough. We cough when the epiglottis will be sending a particle of the food in our windpipe. So this is what below the throat region. Then up till here, if it is clear, we will proceed further to the food pipe. Now we will see about where the food pipe will go. So this food pipe, I have the small space, so I am just drawing the short diagram quickly. Please don't draw the diagram today. You have already drawn it yesterday. So this food pipe is known as esophagus. The anatomical term esophagus. That is nothing but the food pipe. This esophagus is which connects our pharynx. This which connects our pharynx, that is nothing but these two regions, to our stomach. So esophagus, food pipe, is what which connects the throat to the stomach. And what is present in the esophagus? There are many waves of peristalsis. Waves of peristalsis. What does this mean? The waves of peristalsis means whenever the food we eat, as the food we eat, that food, these waves of peristalsis. So in our food pipe, you have the waves of peristalsis. Whenever we eat the food, that food will not fall down directly into the stomach. There are some waves of mucous membranes and peristalsis which takes or which carries this food slowly till the stomach. Not like when we swallow it from our mouth, it will directly drop down within a second or within a minute quickly into our stomach. So it takes some time for the food to travel with the waves of peristalsis slowly, the slow motion of the food. And at the end of the food pipe here, you will see the stomach at the left side. The waves of peristalsis are present in the food pipe. Now, behind the stomach or at the end of the food pipe, I will show one ring in a circular orbit. First, I will erase these waves of peristalsis so I can label stomach. Again, here you see a hollow ring, or you see the ring. This is what the ring is present. That ring is known as sphincter. That ring is known as sphincter. Or esophageal sphincter or the food pipe sphincter. That ring is known as sphincter or the esophageal sphincter or the food pipe sphincter. What is the purpose of this sphincter? The purpose of this sphincter is to hold and trap the food inside the stomach. So whatever the food we eat, this will travel down through the food pipe and it will be in our stomach. But as you have said, Anushaji, or about the GERD, where the food or the acid from the stomach will pass above and will cause problems to our throat or the larynx. This is due to the weak sphincter. This is due to the weak sphincter. So the sphincter is unable to hold the food in our stomach, or we have ate more than our capacity of the stomach. Like I already told you also, like first day, we have to eat limitedly, even if it is our favorite item to eat, then also we have to eat in the limit. As the stomach is a small bag which carries our food, not this whole belly. So the sphincter sometimes is unable or also gets weak, which type of food we eat. And the food again can pass through it, will cause problems through the lining of the esophagus, will cause problems to the pharynx on the throat. Sometimes we do have some cough or like dry cough due to this as well. And people get nervous thinking about they have different problems, but it is GERD. Many people have these problems here in India as well.
Yeah, it's a very common issue. And also, is there a difference between GERD and acidity?
The GERD and acidity is similar.
It's similar, but I think there is some difference between the two. No? I know they're similar, but I do not know what that one difference there is between the two, acidity and GERD.
See, GERD, what is the full form, or GERD is what? Gastroesophageal disease. Gastroesophageal
Disorder.
disease, that is disorder GERD. And acidity is caused due to, GERD is caused due to acid. Acidity caused due to acid, like in the stomach. GERD is just caused due to what? The weak sphincter. Acidity is caused due to the food items we eat, like we do eat spices, like we do have like vata food, or in Ayurveda, if we eat more vata or more pitta, then that will definitely cause acidity and gastric issues. It is not major difference in the GERD and the acidity or the gastric problems, but GERD itself has many types. Even in our body, pitta, there are more than 84 types of pitta problems. Not only one pitta we have. So if we have skin issues, if we have high BP, if we have more headache or above the eyes, so all pitta problems, like more fire or digestive fire, Jathar Agni. You may have studied yesterday the Agni, like you said. So the digestive fire is more high. It causes many problems in our whole body, which weakens our immune system. So like in yoga, we do say to eat sattvic food.
So
About this,
in order to cure GERD or any kind of acid reflux, we need to give exercises to our stomach, right?
not only exercises, we need to control our diet also. It is it is necessary to give exercises, but we need to know what food we eat or how much we eat or what amount we eat and what type we eat, how many spices we eat, vegetarian, non-vegetarian, many people. Like, so not only yoga works on our health system, there is an Ayurveda, a sister company of yoga, that has to be followed to work or to live a normal life, healthy life. Doing many exercises but without control on our diet, we cannot live a happy and healthy life here. Yes. Even if I will tell you hundreds of asanas on stomach, but people will keep eating pizzas, burger, or drink alcohol, they will feel the same problem even after doing many Ashtanga Vinyasa or Hatha or any. So we have to also follow the diet. Apart from the food pipe, we have the stomach. Then in the stomach, what do we have? We have the enzymes or the digestive enzymes. In this digestive enzymes, what is the role of the digestive enzymes? To break down food. Enzymes, the role of the enzymes is to break down food. And in the stomach, which we have acid. Which acid we do have in our stomach? We have hydrochloric acid. HCl, I will write here. Hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid present in our stomach. So what is the role of the digestive enzymes and hydrochloric acid in our stomach? Can you see, or can I move? Just to let you see. So what is the role of this digestive enzymes or the hydrochloric acid? First one, we will speak about digestive enzymes. Yes, Anusha?
No, nothing.
Okay. So about the enzymes, it breaks down the food, and about the acid which is present in the stomach, already hydrochloric acid, that is for nothing, but that kills the germs or bacteria. This is not the acid which is harmful for our body. That kills the germs and bacteria from the food which passes through our food pipe. To before the food enters our other organs like intestines, the germs or the bacteria, if they are present, whatever amount in our food, those all are getting killed or they are all vanished by the hydrochloric acid. It just burns off these germs or our pathogens or our bacteria from the food. Then and then only it passes the food more down to our intestine. Then and then it passes the food from the stomach to the intestine. Up till here, is it cleared? If yes, we can just proceed further. I have to erase this. Okay. So the first one was mouth, then throat. So from the throat, the pharynx region, what is next? Epiglottis. Then epiglottis has sent the food to our food pipe. Then the food pipe will send the food to our stomach. After from the stomach, the acid, it will send the food to our intestine. So this one was the food pipe and was the stomach. This one was stomach. Then the food will travel through the intestine down. As the food passes through the intestine, here we have that sphincter. Before, we have to just see what is the liver, or below the stomach, we do also have the gland. So there is the stomach where the food passes, and we have on the right side our liver. On the right side, we have our liver. Yes, anyone? Okay, you see this liver. About the stomach, we have seen about the enzymes and the acid. If just want to tell you, do you know the average size of the stomach? What is the size of the stomach on an average? So we keep our two fists, keeping the two fists at the side. This is just our average size of the stomach. Our stomach is not big than the size of our two fists kept together. The size of our heart is one fist. The size of our stomach, two fists kept at the side. This is which carries our acid. Then the next is liver organ. So this food passing from the stomach will go to the intestine, and also the liver has a liquid, a fluid. That liver sends the liquid or the fluid through this duct, and this duct, that liquid is known as bile. We will just see the last one, liver, here, and then we will stop. About the liver, it carries the bile, and this bile is nothing but the liquid which is in yellowish color that helps to break down lipids. That helps to break down lipids, or lipids means fats. That helps to break down our fats in our body. So the bile which is produced by the liver inside the liver, it's sent through the bile duct. It's sent through the bile duct through the intestine. The food will be sent from the stomach to the intestine. The bile will be sent from the liver to the intestine to break down the amount of fats in our intestine. And this bile, if it has more bile, if the small intestine below have more bile than its capacity, then this small intestine will give the bile or this liquid back through the gallbladder and will store in the gallbladder. So in the liver, you will see this one, gallbladder. Just see the diagram which you have drawn yesterday. That will make you understand quickly. So first the bile will be given through the bile duct into the small intestine, where the bile will break down fat from the food in the small intestine, and the remaining bile, which is not used by the small intestine, the remaining bile which is not used will be given back from the intestine to the gallbladder in our liver. And when there is more bile in our gallbladder in the liver, that time some people do have bladder stone, gallbladder stone. Many people, not some people, they have liver issues and gallbladder stones as well. But there is a yoga which can help to remove the stones from the gallbladder easily. But people do operations and remove the gallbladder from the liver. People can survive by removing the gallbladder as well from the liver, but instead of removing the gallbladder, exercising, or there are some asanas for that, which will be easily remove the issue of the gallbladder stone. Okay, everyone, cleared up till here? We have to see small intestine and large intestine.
Yes.
That's it. Okay. You have a session, I think. The next, if you have any questions, please ask me anytime. And we will continue it tomorrow with the different syllabus while discussing with the Himalayan Yoga Management as well. First, we will complete this one, this system. Thank you so much, everyone.
Syllabus as in?
Syllabus means I thought they have discussed with somebody, because I am not a part of Himalayan Yoga Association from a long time. So every school has some different set syllabus, what we should do, what we should do, what we should, like this. Here, I am teaching in many schools, so I just make my own syllabus systematically. But every school has some different system. Accordingly, they will tell me. And also, first we will complete this, and we will proceed with and stuck with their syllabus as they will give me. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay. No. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow. Thank you.